Que la que hay combo. So we're in my backyard. Don't pay attention to the green pool. It's like March, so we had to close it, obviously. Um, but yeah, I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about the reasons why most people fail at learning Spanish. The reason why most people fail learning Spanish and ultimately at learning languages in general. Now, while you're watching this video, I want you to take a step back and I want you to look at yourself. I want you to think about these reasons and see if any of them apply to you. And if they do, I want you to see what you can do to fix them. If you need any help, just hit me up in the comment section and ask me, and or go to my social media, DM me, and I can look at your case just on a one-on-one type thing. But so the first reason why people fail learning languages, first one, lack of patience. I know a lot of people want to, they learn a language, they're pretty excited. Yo, I'm about to learn Spanish, I'm about to learn Chinese, I'm about to learn German, or whatever. And they just rush into it, just rush. They don't take their time and actually make sure everything they're getting is, sticking in their brain. Because that's what languages are. You have to learn. It's a lot of memorization. Languages is about memorization and practice. You have to memorize the words and put those words into practice. So when you're impatient, obviously you're not going to remember half the words that you studied, and if you do and you're not putting it into practice, then you're not going to get any better, which is actually reason number 2 why most people fail at learning Spanish or languages in general, is that they don't practice. Whether they're scared to, whether they think they don't have enough resources, whatever the reason may be. I can tell you right now, both of those reasons are unacceptable. One, because wherever you are, you can find somebody. And if there's like nobody around you, like if you're in the middle of nowhere in the forest and there's nobody there, practice with yourself. Like I was saying in another video, you can talk to yourself. It's okay. That's actually how I learned Spanish. But it's not like you're talking to yourself like one of those people you find on the corners of, freeways, under the crossways or whatever you call them. I don't know. But it's just like how you talking to yourself, just like through your daily life. Like you wake up in the morning, you're thinking to yourself, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do that. Do it in your target language, whatever your target language is, whether it's English, Spanish, French, German, Chinese. Do it in your target language. That is definitely gonna help you, and you're practicing with yourself. Granted, you won't be able to tell if you are actually saying the words correctly, but you are practicing your speech, which is an important part of the language, obviously, because if you can't speak the language, then what's the point? The next reason why most people fail at speaking Spanish or languages in general is they try to rush through everything. And I understand. You want to learn the language, you want to go travel to Germany or wherever. So you get the book or you get whatever resource you're learning from, and you just go through like 10 lessons the first day. How is that going to help you? It's not. Honestly, you can do maybe like 2-3 lessons a day, depending on how difficult you think it is, or your background, whatever it may be for you. But if you go through 10 lessons a day, you're not gonna, memorize everything that was in those 10 lessons. Which is, I know I'm guilty of doing that myself. I'm learning Chinese right now, so I just go through the book. I look at the book. And I feel like we're going too slow in class, so I might, go to the next chapter, start learning the next chapter, and then come to find out, I don't even have the chapter we're doing right now down. So I have to go back and study, and it becomes a mess. So I definitely recommend that you take your time doing it, because learning a language is definitely a process. It's not something you can do in one day. Even if you live in the country of your target language, you still have to go through, learning it and learning greetings and blah blah blah. Even if that stuff seems kind of boring, it's very important in language. So definitely take your time learning the language and have fun with it. That's the most important part. If you're not having fun with the language, then I don't know what to tell you. The 5th reason, or whatever reason we're on, 4 or 5, 3, I don't know, is people are scared to talk to the native speakers or the speaker or the those that speak the language fluently. They're scared to talk to them because they think they're gonna mess up, or they don't know if they're pronouncing this word correctly, this word. They, just they get kind of stage fright, I guess you could say. It's definitely something that happens to a lot of people. It used to happen to me with Spanish, not so much. As you get better with your Spanish, your confidence grows with the Spanish, and you're not, as caught up in your head. You're not as stuck in your mind. There we go. You're not as stuck in your mind for talking with the people of the native language or the native speakers of said language. There we go. But I guess when you, I know for me, I'm learning Chinese. I'm only in my second class of Chinese, so it's definitely hard for me to speak with and understand people who speak Mandarin Chinese. But it's very important that I go out and I just, talk to people, talk to the Chinese people, talk to my language partners, and just get used to it, because at the end of the day, that's what you're going to be doing, is speaking the language. So it's very important to go out and find people. If you live in an area where there's not that many of the people who speak the language. For example, if you are learning, I don't know, Russian, and you live in like Oklahoma or something, I don't know, you can, download HELLOTALK, like I was talking about in my past videos. Download HELLOTALK. There's plenty of websites that you can go on. You can talk to random people. You can go to Omegle and type in like Russian or something. Don't do the video chat though. If you know, do not do the video chat. But rounding this reason up, go out, talk, build your confidence. Even if you only understand one word, that's still one word that you understood at the end of the day. Al fin y al cabo, you understood one word. And the next time you talk with someone, you're going to understand that word, and you're going to understand another word, and you're going to keep building up until one day you understand the whole sentence. And then another day you understand the entire schmuck of what they're saying. So just go out, practice, keep practicing. Even if you're feeling discouraged, keep practicing, because even if you don't feel it, you're getting better. You are. Now, the next reason why people struggle to learning Spanish or languages in general is because they're stuck in the books. They're stuck in the books and they're not practicing. And what I mean by that is they look at their book, they're doing everything correctly. They're taking a chapter or a lesson a day or a lesson a week, a month, or whatever, and they're doing well. They can write the language well. They can understand it well. They can listen to it. They can their language comprehension is well. But when they go to speak it, whether it be sending voice notes or just going out speaking to people, they fail at it, and they wonder why. Well, I'll tell you why. Because they're not practicing. Now, what I mean by that is that they're practicing writing, reading, and listening, but they're not practicing their speaking. And this kind of goes back to the first point, where people are scared to speak because they think that people are gonna make fun of them. That they think that people are gonna, reject them, and just whatever other reasons. But it's very important that those people go out, even if they don't go outside their house. Just download HELLOTALK. Do whatever you have to do to find someone who speaks that language. If you're speaking English or Spanish, I can almost guarantee you that there's somebody that you'll meet in one day who speaks that language. Especially if you live in the southern states of the United States. I know there's Mexicans everywhere. I've lived in Memphis, and I've lived in Memphis, I've lived in Huntsville, and I'm currently in Birmingham. And I know in all three of those cities, there are Latinos everywhere. Mostly Mexicans, obviously, due to our location. But I have found a lot of Central Americans. I've found some Dominicans. Unfortunately for me, I've only found one Puerto Rican. And I found a few Cubans, actually. But if you live in like Texas, Florida, Georgia, there's Latinos everywhere you go, and I know that for a fact. So if you live in one of those states, in California, just anywhere like the southern border, you can find Latinos anywhere. So just go out, speak with them, and practice. Another reason why people fail at learning Spanish or languages in general is because they get books on books on books on books on books on books. They have a library of books. Library, what's a library? A library of books. And they have grammar books, they have slang books, they have vocabulary books, and they never open the book. What's the point of buying all these books if you're not even going to open them and you know, actually use the books? Now this is something that I've actually seen quite a bit, more than you would think actually. People are texting me on WhatsApp, they're DMing me on Twitter, and they're asking, yo, why am I not getting better at my, you know, my target language, my Spanish, my English, whatever. And so I asked them what they're doing to help themselves. And they're like, oh, I bought all these books. I bought all these books. I got all these grammar books. I even got slang from the United States. And so I asked them, have you actually opened the book and started studying the books? They're like, no, but I plan on. There's your answer right there. You're not studying. How do you expect to learn a language if you're not learning the language? Seems kind of self-explanatory. And the last reason why most people fail learning Spanish or languages in general is laziness. Now, this is so common that I know, even if you're not learning a language, that you know someone who has attempted to learn a language, but they're like, oh, I tried, but I didn't. This is very often in high school, where people are like, oh, I took 3 years of Spanish in high school, but I don't know anything. The reason why is because they took the class just to take the class, pretty much, or take the class just for the grade, or an advanced diploma, or whatever the reason may be. But they didn't actually learn. They didn't actually take the class to learn the language. They just took it just for whatever reason. If you were taking a class, especially in college, do not waste your money taking the class if you're not going to learn from the class, right? If you're going to take the class, whether it be with your money, whether it be with the government's money, whether it be with your parents' money, whether it be with your brothers, sisters, boyfriends, girlfriends' money, take the class seriously. If you're going to spend money on the class, actually learn something from the class, because Spanish is the second most spoken language in the world right now. Is definitely rising in the USA. It's becoming more and more important. So it's very important that I think everyone should at least learn a second language. If they don't know 2 languages, they should learn at least a second language. And it really depends on the location. If you're in the United States, I say learn Spanish. If you're in South America, Central America, or Mexico, the Caribbean, English. But whatever you do, whatever language you choose to learn, do not be lazy at it, because you're gonna feel discouraged and you don't want to learn languages. Oh, I'm not, you know, languages aren't for me. When in reality, you just didn't study. So this is all I have for you guys in this video. Give me some feedback in the comments. Tell me what you learned. Tell me what you want to learn. Tell me what you didn't learn that you hoped you would learn. Special shout out to my boy Noel. Shout out to Roxana de Colombia. Shout out to Chim Chim de Costa Rica. So with that being said, chequeamos, and I'll get you on the new video.